Alright, what is up YouTube? Chase Oliver 68 here. Monday Night Raw review for, what's today's date? The
11th.
The 11th.
Slurpees.
Slurpees, free Slurpees at 7-Eleven. Too bad there's no Slurpee cups for SummerSlam yet. But anyways, Monday Night Raw review for the 11th. This Raw was okay, but let me get started. First, we have CM Punk enter the ring. He basically talks about how he wants his contract to be signed. He wants his demands to be signed right here, right now. Cena comes out, counteracts him, and basically says, you know what, Punk, you don't need to get your contract signed. I don't know why you're doing this. All this BS. And it really wasn't a strong opening segment. I really wasn't into it. The Raw GM chimed in and basically said, Cena, you're in a match tonight. In a handicap match. And it was between Michael McGillicuddy and David Otunga versus Cena. But before then, CM Punk said, we're going to have a contract signing between him and Vince live on Raw at the main event. Okay, I guess that works somehow. But so Cena basically easily squashes both McGillicuddy and Otunga in this handicap match, really, just to make Cena look strong before the pay-per-view. I understand that, but it wasn't really necessary. I could have seen him put against a better opponent. Then next thing you know, Raw cuts to a backstage segment of, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and holy shit, Drew McIntyre makes an appearance on TV. But Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero, basically they're talking about how bad Vince's breath smells, saying, oh, Vince's breath smells like a diaper full of vomit with a dead possum and stuff. And it was just pointless. Like, there was no point. But then Vince McMahon comes out and says, two of my fastest young rising stars in the business. You know what? We're going to put you in a handicap match against the Big Show. Way to treat your two fastest rising stars, putting them against a man who has a match on the pay-per-view. But nonetheless, that's what happens there. After that, we get a Divas match. And holy shit, we make another rare appearance on TV. Melina's actually on TV. Fucking Melina is on TV. But one thing, WWE, never put the fucking Bellas on commentary again. They are god-awful at commentary. They're god-awful on the mic. But nonetheless, Kelly Kelly faces Melina. Squash match. Kelly Kelly wins the match. That's about it. I like how Kelly Kelly, though, she tries to make it interesting in her matches. Like, before she does her finisher, she goes, come on, let's go! Like, she tries to make it enjoyable, but this was a squash. Kelly Kelly gets put over. Melina basically does nothing. Bella's beat down Kelly Kelly, and then Eve comes in, gets her ass kicked. And at least they're trying to build up the Divas division and make it interesting. So, yeah, pretty much that's about it for that segment. Next thing you know, we get a Raw Money in the Bank segment to get these guys on the mic so you actually can believe which one will win. Miz comes out, basically says, I'm not the present, I'm the future, I am still the future. Riley's not the future, I am. I won it last year, so I'm going to win it again. This leads to Jack Swagger coming out and being like, Miz, I am the next Money in the Bank winner. If you forget, I won it last year. And then Miz goes, well, you know what? Wait, what? What's laughing about it?
You got it on the camera.
Oh, I got it on the camera? Well, that sucks. But anyways, Miz says, really? If no one can remember your title reign, does that really matter? And holy shit, Evan Bourne comes out next. Evan Bourne. And Evan Bourne actually talks to Mike. He goes, literally, these words. I'm not going to talk about what I have done in the past. I'm just going to talk about what I'm going to do. And that's going to win the Money in the Bank. Pretty much what Evan Bourne said. That's what he said. He didn't say anything else. He just talked about who he was going to win. And then afterwards, Kofi Kingston comes out, kind of cuts a promo that I could barely understand. He mentions how people risk their lives in this type of match. Their careers are always on the line. So, and talk about how Edge's career was shortened because of a ladder match. And that's about it. Then afterwards, A-Rod comes out. A-Rod doesn't get any mic time, which is a shame. He instead tries to go after The Miz for The Miz beating A-Rod's ass last week. After A-Rod comes out, R-Truth comes out, and R-Truth probably said the most funniest shit ever. He comes out to the ring, and he basically goes like, you know what? I don't want to participate in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Do you remember who I defeated last week? 2 weeks ago? I defeated John Cena. I defeated the WWE Champion. But there's one thing why I don't like this ladder match. I have arachnophobia. I'm afraid of spiders. And if I see a spider in that ring on that later, and if I see it in the briefcase, you gotta get got. And then Del Rio comes out, basically talked about how he took out Rey Mysterio. I guess that's why Rey Mysterio's not on Raw this week, and said that he's gonna win. It's his destiny. And then the Raw GM chimes in, makes a 6-man tag match between the face team of Kofi Kingston, Evan Bourne, and Alex Riley against The Miz, Swagger, and R-Truth. This match was okay for a TV match. It did its job by highlighting some of the guys who are going to be in the Money in the Bank match. It put A-Rai over to make him look strong. Then in the end, Miz hits the skull-crushing finale, and then a bunch of the guys get the spots in. Alberto Del Rio overall in the end grabs his ladder, hits all men, takes everyone out, stands tall, and bam, you see Del Rio. That's about it. And then we get more shit. Big Show versus McIntyre and Ziggler. The match went like this. Ziggler didn't want to fight Big Show, tagged in McIntyre. McIntyre gets his ass kicked, double count out. Big Show looks at chokeslam McIntyre onto the outside of the stage. Mark Henry's like, fuck no, motherfucker. Pushes Big Show. Big Show and Mark Henry do a giant spot. Mark Henry getting all those holy shit moments in. Mark Henry's a savage. Drew McIntyre, I hope his fall wasn't lethal. And that was about it. And Mark Henry, after the commercial, pushes away. Then we get to the main event segment. This segment was long as fuck. What time did it start? 7:45? 7:45 it started. And it ended at 8:20 as I'm filming this review. 2 minutes later. 8:15? Oh shit, my bad. 8:15.
Okay, 16.
16?
Yeah.
Whatever. Finished somewhat around that time. But holy crap. You know, it was a good segment. It did its job by trying to promote the WWE Championship match. It talked about what CM Punk wanted and what he needed from Vince and how he feels Vince hates him. But this segment overall, it just didn't really appeal to me. Yes, it built yes, Cena and Punk have been interesting as of late. It's been an interesting feud, but really the only interaction Cena and Punk have had really is the opening segment and this ending segment out of their whole feud. So it really wasn't that. Can you stop that noise? It's probably in the background. People are going to get pissed at you. He's just making noises all around. But anyways, basically Punk and Cena, they just go. So basically Vince and Punk go back and forth, and Punk has like all these crazy demands. He wants his own private jet. He wants his face on socks, underwear, t-shirts, sippy cups, you know, all this shit. Vince is about to sign it, and then Cena comes out and talks about how how Punk shouldn't do this. And earlier in Cena's segment, Cena talked about how he wrestled great guys like Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and how he was the underdog in all those, and how he couldn't hang with the best, and he proved him wrong. Punk said that now he's the underdog, it's his situation, and he said that he's going to be the best in the world no matter what he does. And ultimately in the end, Cena sucker punches Punk. Punk runs up to the ladder, runs up to the entrance ramp, rips up the contract and says, I'm going to be the best in the world somewhere else. Basically ends the show in a long segment, but I guess it was needed. I really couldn't get into this Raw at all, to be honest with you. It really did not feel like a build-up show to a Money in the Bank pay-per-view that should be good. But this Raw really just, I couldn't keep my interest in it. I almost nodded off a couple of times on certain parts. I did like what they did with Big Show and Henry, though. And I did like the Money in the Bank guys at least getting each a word in. But other than that, I just didn't really get into this Raw. I felt like the opening segment was okay, and I felt the ending segment wasn't really that great. So if I were to grade this Raw, I'd just give it a solid C. There's nothing, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't like mildly entertaining. So yeah, that's about it. So if you guys like this video, subscribe up above, comment down below, follow me on Twitter, add me on Skype. You all know the deal. Sorry if this is a short, quick review, you know, kind of just wanted to get this out of the way. Pretty much that's about it. And there was nothing really needed to say about this Raw. It was a build to Money in the Bank. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm coming up close to the camera.